Good morning. This is Stampindede, Deanna Blackman, and we're here for Stampin' Thursday. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna get my computer up so that I can make sure that you can see everything. I'm just doing the face down this time. I didn't want to fool with trying to center everything. I thought I'd just... Oh dear, hold on. Okay. I have to make sure everything is turned off and positioned just the right way. I'm so glad you're here, and we have got a lot planned for this morning. So, let's just get started. I've got several things I want to tell you about. First of all, the only event that, other than the World Card Making Day, that I'll be doing in October is the October Class to Go. So the October Class to Go is Biggest Wish stamp set. This stamp set has so much potential, and so I'm going to be doing samples using this stamp set. Your class to go will include the stamp set and a package of the Genial Gems, and I just had those in my hand. What did I do? Well, here's another one. I always look on the floor and see if I maybe dropped them on the floor. All right. Anyway, well, and a package. This is a mostly used up package. But you'll get the stamp set, a full package of the Genial Gems, and you'll get 4 card kits. And those card kits will be complete with everything you need to make these 4 cards. Let me scoot this aside. So you'll make this card, and all of these, of course, are different ways to use this Biggest Wish stamp set. So here's this one. There's not room on the screen for all of these, so then you'll do this one, and I did this one because it's a masculine card, and it has this unique border at the bottom. And the trees, of course, show through the border. The front says happy, 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 and inside it says birthday. So you'll have that one, and this one uses the Genial Gems, and this one uses the Genial Gems. You'll have this one, this fun one, using the turtle set, and it's happy birthday. And then you'll have this one, which is also a happy birthday. So you've got 1 hello friend and 3 happy birthdays. And this one is using the expressions in ink paper. And you can see on the inside I added a strip there. So this is the card that we're going to make today. But I wanted to first show you these cards that you would receive the card kits for the October Class to Go. Now the add-on that you can add on to your order if you want to would be 2 packages of Designer Series paper. One would be this paper, the Beauty of Friendship, and the other one would be this Expressions in Ink paper. So those 2 papers for an add-on price of $26, and that's actually less than it would cost you to purchase those yourself, plus I pay the shipping and tax. So if you already have these 2, or even one of these, or you don't want these for some reason, you can substitute. You can pick out something else, some other paper that you want to substitute, up to $26.25 or $26.50 maybe. And then you would just pay $26. So, like I had somebody substitute 3 packs of cardstock for her $26. So, you can do whatever you want to do on that. So, $35 for the class to go, the stamp set, the Genial Gems, and the card kits, full color PDF tutorial with pictures, and that's $35, and then your add-on, if you want the paper, another $26. So I want to tell you about one more thing before we get started on our card. So like I said, the only thing I have going in October is this October class to go, and that's because we have got every weekend full in October, and we're going to be gone a week in October. There's my Genial Gems. But November, coming up, November, the very 1st of November, we're going to have a Christmas tag class. And we're going to use the Love Santa Christmas tag kit, plus I'm gonna throw in another set of tags to go with that. But that class will either be here in my home, or it will be a to-go class. The thing is, you've got to RSVP by October 19th, because I need to get those tag kits ordered. They are going fast. And I'm just praying that there are kits left, enough for us to order then. So let me know and get me your money as soon as you can for the Christmas tag class, November 6th, that's a Saturday, or November the 8th, which is a Monday evening. November 6th is Saturday afternoon, 1 to 3:30. November the 8th is a Monday night. I thought there might be some who would want to get some Christmas tags made. So Monday evening from 6:30 to 9. So I've got those two scheduled. The November class to go is going to feature a stamp set that is on pre-order right now, but it will be in the new mini catalog in January, but it will be available for purchase November 1st. So the November class to go is Eden's Garden, and it's a beautiful, with vines and greenery and flowers, as you can well imagine. So Eden's Garden is going to be the November class to go, but I'll talk more about that later. And then November 20th, we're going to have a penguin party. So I'll give you more details about that later too. But the thing to remember is that for the October class to go, the deadline to RSVP for that is October 14th. So let me know if you want the Biggest Wish October class to go, and get your money to me. And then the deadline for the Christmas tag class is November 19th. So those two deadlines, I know they're coming up quick, but I want to get those ordered. All right, let me get a drink, and we're going to get started making this card right here. Let's see. Let me get my... All right. So, the items we need for this card are our white card base. You need 3 Just Jade strips. 1, 2, 3. Let me get my measurements for those. I should have gotten those out. Hold on a minute. Okay. So your Just Jade strips are 3.5 by 1 1/4. That's this one. 3.5 by 1 1/4, and you cut 2 of those. 3.5 by 1 1/4. And then one of these, 4.5 by 1 1/4. So these are going to be your background strips. And then for your designer series paper, which I'm using the Expressions in Ink, these papers are 3 1/4 by 1, and that's this one, and you need 2 of those. 3 1/4 by 1, and then this one is 4 1/4 by 1. So basically that, and then your sentiment piece, that's all you need for this card. So I do have a little piece that I cut off of this. When I cut my paper, I trimmed it off, and so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to put it inside my card. But we'll do that in a minute. So let's get this done. This is really an easy card to make. It's an elegant card, but it's easy to make. So let's get these down. Okay. Put that one down there. Move it over just a little bit. That's what I love about the green glue, is you can move it. And I often need to reposition. I've even been known to tear it off before. All right. And now this one. You know what I love about this paper is the streaks of gold. Can you see that? The streaks of gold that are in it. That is just so pretty. And I'm going to show you in a minute. I'll use the Expressions in Ink Gold Ephemera. I love adding gold to my cards. I have fallen in love with that. All right, let's get this positioned right there. That's our 3 pieces. So now we're going to put this one in the middle. And I start with the middle now. I know some of you will get out your ruler and measure, and that is okay. I don't do that anymore. I would have done that in former days, but I don't do that anymore. And as a result, my card's not as perfect as it could be, but I eyeball it, hope to get it straight. Yeah, eyeball it here. Yep, I think that's it. So I put my middle piece down first, and then I'll do it on each side. Okay. And I'm just going to eyeball it. There we go. And I'm going to eyeball this side too. And I want to make the bottoms even. As even as possible. My spaces as even as possible. There we go. This is my blog. And after my Facebook Live, I post the details, the measurements, and everything will be on my blog. So be sure and go there and click follow so that you'll get a notice every time I post on it. I don't bombard you. I don't post that often, but at least once a week, sometimes a little more. But it also helps me if you follow. All right. And also, if you're watching the video, please, please, please comment and let me know. It also really helps me if you click like. What that does is that boosts your accessibility. It allows more people to see your Facebook Live. And that's why I do it, is for people to see it and see these techniques. Okay, so now we are ready. I'm going to move this over here to stamp with the Biggest Wish stamp set. And I'm going to get out my mat because these are photopolymer stamps. So you should, and they don't have any padding, so you should use some padding. Now I'm going to stamp the block Happy first. You can do it anyway, but this time I'm going to stamp the Happy first. And whatever I stamp first, or whatever I want as my background, I do it in a lighter color. So the Pear Pizzazz, we're using Pear Pizzazz and Just Jade, because those are the colors that are in this paper. And the wonderful thing about the paper is that you can look, and I do it all the time, you can look on the back of the paper, and this Designer Series paper has Evening Evergreen, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, Mint Macaron, Pale Papaya, Pear Pizzazz, Polished Pink, Shaded Spruce, and Whisper White. Those are the colors that are in these papers, and that helps me so much. So we're going to use our Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to try to move this up just a little bit so you can see. I'm going to get this card out from under it. Move my gold over a little bit. All right, now we're ready. Okay, this was cut with the Stitch So Sweetly dies. But you could trim it with your trimmer. You could use whatever you want. I'm going to stamp once just to make sure I'm getting good coverage. All right. Move that over. So I almost need to be on top of it. There's my Happy. Happy. And now my birthday I'm going to do in the Just Jade. And this is script. I love mixing the two types of fonts. I just think it's so pretty. And I'm going to position that right over my Happy. Birthday. Isn't that cool? All right. So there's our Happy Birthday. And like I said, you could use whatever color you want. There could be other colors to pick up even with this paper. But I thought these looked really pretty with that. Isn't that pretty? Now I'm going to use dimensionals. And I'm going to leave a space right at the top to slip my gold in. So I'll put it right there. And then maybe on the ends over here. I'll just leave that space at the top. All right, here we go. Position it. Yeah. All right, And then these pieces are from the Expressions in Ink ephemera pack. And they're beautiful gold, a variety of gold pieces, of which I've used almost all of the pieces like this. This one, I've used almost all of those. Let me get it over here. But there are also borders that you can use, different designs and shapes to put on your card. And as you can see, I've used a lot of those already. There's a leaf. So anytime Stampin' Up! Offers a gold pack, like this one, the ephemera, Expressions in Ink ephemera, I grab it up. And I have to confess that I'm also on this card using a piece from a former set of gold pieces, Forever Gold, and I am still using pieces out of this. I'm cutting pieces off and using them as backgrounds, trimming them off. They're just, so I'm still using out of this gold pack too, because I just love adding gold to my cards. So that's what this is. Let's see if I can get it up. I trimmed that off of one of the squares. And once I stick it down in here, you're not going to know that it was trimmed off of a square. So I'm just going to put a little bit of gold, a little bit of blue, except I think that it, if you let it sit for just a minute, it starts clogging up. Okay, now maybe I can get it to come out. This is always the case when I do a Facebook Live. I'm sure you've noticed, it's always the case. Alright, I'm just going to stick this one right there. And this one, I'll put a little bit of glue down here. If I can get it to come out. There. Just at the bottom. And I'm going to move this one over just a little bit. I think. Maybe not. And stick this one right there. So, they're never going to look the same. They'll all look different. And then I'm going to finish the card off with these gilded gems, which are also gold. It just brings out the gold and the veins of gold in the card. And I'll use my take a pick tool to pick them up. And let's see, I placed one on the card, on the sentiment. One down here. One right. I'm going to put that a little further down. There we go. Now we have recreated this card. Isn't it pretty? Anybody would love getting that card. Now on the inside, I'm just going to add a little piece. Let's see if this, I need to probably trim. No, that one's all right. So I'll need to trim this one just a little bit. Trim it right there. Whoops. I don't do things straight. I just don't. For some reason, I don't do them straight. I'm going to put some glue on the back of this. Up here. And get it down onto this. And stick it inside. Just adds a little bit of interest to the inside of the card. There we go. put it right up against the edge. Make sure it's even. There we go. Alright, so your sentiment goes in here. Happy birthday. Isn't that pretty? Alright, so that's one of the cards that you will get with your October class to go. Hi Kay, I see you. You'll get this in your kit. Alright, now, I also said that I was going to show you some different ways to use the Expressions and Ink Stamp Designer Series paper. This is the paper. I don't have enough left in my pack to even show it to you. But this beautiful paper, these are the fronts and backs of each sheet. And I know when I first got this set, I thought, oh, what am I going to do with this one? Or this one, or this one, or this one? What am I going to do with that? Well, let me show you what I'm doing with those. So I held back. I have used most of my Expressions and Ink paper, and I've ordered more. But here's one of them. Isn't that pretty? I hope you can see the gold and how shiny it is. And there's some pink. Well, I think there's actually a whole sheet in here of the pink. There's this. There's this one. Isn't that pretty? And here's the pink. There's this one. Alright, so we're going to take this one, and the first thing I'm going to do is cut it in 4-inch strips going this way. So I'm going to cut four-inch, and then this will be 4-inch. Then I want, you know, your basic card front is 4 by 5 1/4. So I want this to be 5 1/4. But I want more of my green to show. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it at 5 1/2. And then trim off 1/4. So it will be 5 1/4. So here's one. This one's got a lot more in it. 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. There's that one. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Now, if you wanted more on one side than the other, you know, you can adjust it to the way you want it. But I'm just going to do it in half and then 5 1/4. Now, save these little pieces because, see, it's got the color on the back. And you can use those to border a card or create a design on a card. Same thing with these. Save your pieces. Okay, I've got these two. So now I have 4 pieces. Now, I could always use the other side of the paper. But I'm showing you how you can use this side and create beautiful, beautiful cards. Cut it at 5 1/2 and come down here and trim to 5 1/4. And of course you could trim it to less if you wanted a smaller panel. Alright, I have my pieces here ready to use on a card. Now, I've actually already made some of the cards to show you. Alright, here's one of them. Isn't that gorgeous? All it needs is a sentiment and maybe some jewels. That's all it needs. That's all it needs. So this piece is really basically this piece right here. Okay. Then there's this one. And this is using our Biggest Wish stamp set. And this one I used the gilded gems on it. I think I've scooted my paper down is what I've done. Alright, and that one, let's see. And even though these came off the same set, they've got different colors in them, and I don't see that one. And then this is from one of the other sets, one of the other pages. And I did the same thing. This one was Thanks Friend. This one is using the Happy Birthday. So that is one way that you can use these papers, utilize that beautiful design in them, and you could also, of course, use the back. So, I think that expressions in ink paper, I don't know, what am I doing? Getting further out of the picture? I think I am. There we go. Alright, so I hope that has given you some ideas, some ways to use that beautiful paper. And of course, we used it on our card today in a real simple format. So, let me see if you have any questions. I don't see any. Alright, that's it for today. So don't forget the deadlines for the October class to go, and for the November tag class. Thank you for being here and joining me today. Thanks, Kay. It's good to see you. All right. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.